You know it's not good for you. You've probably said that out loud, to a friend, or just to yourself in the shower. But you keep checking your phone anyway. You keep replaying the same conversation in your head, looking for a different ending. You keep going back. That's not weakness. That's not bad judgment. That's chemistry. Real, measurable brain chemistry. And once you understand what's actually happening inside your head, you'll never look at a relationship like this the same way again. Here's the first thing worth understanding. A relationship that feels addictive often isn't built on love. It's built on a loop. Good moment, bad moment. Good moment again. Your brain doesn't actually care if a relationship is healthy. It only cares about the pattern. And the most addictive pattern of all isn't constant happiness. It's uncertainty. A relationship where the good days feel incredible and the bad days feel unbearable creates a loop your brain struggles to walk away from, not because it's good for you, but because it's unpredictable. There's a concept in psychology called variable reward. It's the same mechanism behind slot machines. If a machine paid out every single time, people would get bored fast. But if it pays out randomly, sometimes big, sometimes nothing, the brain becomes far more engaged. That same wiring shows up in relationships. A partner who is warm and affectionate one day, then distant and cold the next, creates a reward pattern your brain can't predict. And your brain doesn't disengage from unpredictability. It leans in harder, trying to crack the code. Most people assume dopamine is the chemical of pleasure. It's actually closer to the chemical of anticipation. Dopamine spikes hardest right before a reward, not during it. That's why waiting for a text back can feel more intense than the text itself. That's why the few seconds before someone might forgive you, or might not, can feel almost unbearable. A relationship that keeps you waiting, wondering, hoping, is quietly training your brain to crave the anticipation itself. Not the person, the chase. Here's something that confuses almost everyone in this situation. If a relationship is genuinely painful, why do the good moments feel so incredible? The answer lies in contrast. When someone is distant and then suddenly warm again, the relief floods your system with relaxation and reward all at once. That relief gets mistaken for deep connection, but it isn't connection. It's the nervous system finally exhaling after being held tense. The high doesn't come from how good the relationship is. It comes from how much tension came right before it. This pattern rarely starts in adulthood. It often starts much earlier, in childhood, in the relationships that taught us what love is supposed to feel like. A child who only received warmth after good behavior learns that love must be earned. A child who experienced inconsistent attention learns that closeness comes and goes unpredictably. Years later, as adults, those same nervous systems often feel most at home in relationships that mirror that same uncertainty. Stability can almost feel boring to a nervous system raised on unpredictability. Chaos can feel like home, simply because it's familiar. This is the part almost nobody talks about. Leaving an addictive relationship doesn't just feel emotionally difficult, it can feel physically difficult too. When the brain has been running on a variable reward loop, pulling away can trigger something close to withdrawal. Restlessness, anxiety, an overwhelming urge to reach out just one more time. This isn't a lack of willpower. It's a nervous system that has been trained, slowly and repeatedly, to associate this specific person with relief from the tension that the relationship itself created. You're not addicted to them. You're addicted to the relief of the tension they caused. Let's call her Sam. Sam dated someone for almost 2 years who ran hot and cold without warning. Some weeks felt like the beginning of a love story. Other weeks felt like being completely shut out. Her friends couldn't understand why she kept going back. Sam couldn't fully explain it either. She just knew the good days felt too good to walk away from. It wasn't until she talked to a therapist that she heard the pattern named out loud. She wasn't chasing him. She was chasing the relief that came after the distance, the exhale after holding her breath for days. Once she saw the pattern clearly, she finally understood why leaving felt so much harder than it should have. So how do you tell the difference between real connection and an addictive loop? Real connection feels calm, even when it isn't perfect. An addictive loop feels intense, urgent, and unpredictable. Real connection makes you feel secure, even during disagreements. An addictive loop makes you feel like you're constantly auditioning for affection. If a relationship leaves you feeling more relieved than genuinely happy, that's worth paying attention to. Relief is not the same thing as peace. And peace, quiet, steady, unremarkable peace, is usually the clearest sign that something is actually healthy. Here's what this really comes down to. An addictive relationship isn't proof that the connection is deep. It's often proof that your nervous system has been trained to mistake tension for intensity and relief for love. Understanding this doesn't mean every difficult relationship is unhealthy, but it does mean you deserve to ask yourself an honest question. Are you craving this person, or are you craving the relief that comes after the pain they create? That question alone can change everything. If this video helped something click into place, let me know in the comments. And if you want more videos that explain the psychology behind the patterns we can't always name, make sure you're subscribed.